What's going on, everyone? It's Steve Larsen, and you're listening to Sales Funnel Radio. I've spent the last 4 years learning from the most brilliant marketers today. And now I've left my 9-to-5 to take the plunge and build my $1 million business. The real question is, how will I do it without VC funding or debt, completely from scratch? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share marketing strategies to grow my online business using only today's best internet sales funnels. My name is Steve Larsen, and welcome to Sales Funnel Radio. Guys, I am so excited for this episode. I have been dying to record it. I feel like this is going to be one of those episodes that I look back on, I'm like, man, that was one of the Hallmark amazing episodes of Sales Funnel Radio. You know what I mean? 10 years from now, hopefully the show's still going, but I feel like I'll look back and be like, man, that was one of them. That was one of the ones that made it click for a lot of people. It's one of the things that made it click for me. And anyway, I'm excited to share it with you. It all kind of started, honestly, well, how should I say this? How far back do I want to go? See, I was born 1988. No, so it's been a lot of fun working with Russell, because what's fun about it is I feel like he and I are probably some of the only people on planet Earth that geek out at the level that we do. And so every time we see each other, it's like a show and tell. Like, hey, dude, check this out. And he shows me, and we like go through all the cool stuff he's doing. And I'm like, yeah, check this out. And I tell him all the stuff I'm going through and doing, and the epiphanies that either or of us have had. And so anyways, I was chatting with him a little while ago, and is when he was saying, hey, we want to get you on the Funnel Hacking Live stage. And I was like, sweet, are you serious? Okay, that'd be awesome. And which just ended, and I'm kind of backtracking a little bit, okay? I'm a little bit behind on recording these episodes. But I went, and he said, we want you to teach new offer creation in 10 minutes. I was like, 10 minutes? What? Oh my gosh, like, that's what I teach in 3 days at the FAT event. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, are you serious? Okay, oh my gosh. So I was sitting there, and the magic formula happened, okay, which is caffeine and dubstep, okay? And I'm pacing around my home office here, and I can't remember what I was doing. My head was just kind of like subconsciously on this problem. And I love that, because I will be in random places around the house, around wherever, and I'll have these epiphanies. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's easier like that. Holy crap, you know, and my head is constantly on these problems, you guys. Like, I rarely think about anything else, which sounds like obsession, and it is, and I am glad it is, okay? And I sit and I'll listen, and I'll just kind of think. And I told you guys a little while ago how I kind of brainstorm and come up with these ideas. And I imagine them as like these little threads, and I kind of tug on them, see where they lead. And if it's not good, then I just drop it and I go on to the next thing and try and find different possibilities for solving different problems. And anyway, so I was thinking through, and I was trying to distill down the 3 days into 10 minutes, and it was rough. It was rough, and I was trying to work the problem. I was trying to figure out like the different angles to teach it. I went into ClickFunnels at like 10 o'clock at night, like the week before Funnel Hacking Live happened, and I sat there, and I was trying to, and for about 2 hours, I was doodling, and for some reason, if I can doodle it, I know that I can teach it, and I know that it's a clear thing, and so that's the reason why he and I draw so many pictures. And so I was doodling, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I started having these epiphanies, and they started coming faster and faster and faster on the way to teach this. Well, next morning, I'm back in the home office here, and which is where I am now. And I was standing in front of my whiteboard, and all of a sudden I had this. Guys, I don't know really how this happens or whatever, but I will forget where I am, and it actually makes me a little bit nervous because it's happening more frequently. And whatever I'm thinking of, that's where I physically feel like I am at that time. Like, I will forget where I'm standing, and I get kind of lost in my head, and 20 minutes will go by, and all of a sudden like come to and realize that I've been standing in the corner of the room for a while. You know what I mean? Like, but I've been like deep in meditation and thought, and it's a little bit weird, and it's kind of happening more frequently. I'm kind of trying to get used to it. And anyway, so I was in one of those little, I don't know what I'm going to call it, weirdness things. I was kind of zoning out a little bit, and all of a sudden I had this realization. One of the things that people struggle with the most when it comes to building funnels is they think that the funnel is a series of pages, and we have had the hardest time trying to describe in this very smallest amount of words, the shortest amount of words, what a funnel actually is. You know, right? My mom used to think that funnels, I was selling literally kitchen hardware. You're selling funnels, like kitchen stuff? You don't even know how to cook. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I should not be in that space. And anyway, we've had a hard time getting people to understand what a funnel is without people seeing it, right? And so we've tried literally for years to try and figure out how to explain what a funnel is in the shortest amount of time where people are like, oh. And so like a couple of years ago, that's honestly where this whole conversation started. We're trying to figure out like, it's a series of pages linked together to turn prospective customers into buying customers. It's like, oh man, like, yeah, that's just a lot of, you know, how do we shrink it down? How do we shrink it down? What's the core of funnel building? You know, and suddenly it hit me. That's what I'm so excited about, you guys. Like, it hit. I was like, holy crap, what is it? And I figured it out. And I was sitting there and I realized, I was standing in front of the whiteboard, and I realized that at the core of funnel building, right, is the offer. And for a long time, I was saying that. I was like, it's the offer. It's the offer. The core of funnel building is the offer. But it's not. It's actually only half of it. Okay, the other half of it is story. It's the sales message. It's the belief that carries the offer. And those two things is what makes a funnel. And it's the reason why, whether or not you decided to make a funnel, you have a funnel. If you're in business and you've made a sale, you brought them through a funnel, whether online or offline, intentional or not. You have a funnel. It's just better if it was intentional, okay? And it's the reason why people can go, it doesn't matter if it's online, offline, if it doesn't matter what you're selling. If there was a sale that was made, there was some kind of offer. You know, most times people don't make an intentional offer, they just have a product. But there's also a message, a belief that carried that into the heart and mind of that person when they purchased it. Okay? So the core, so anyways, what I wanted to do, and I was like, holy crap. And maybe I should find that Vox, because I sent Russell a Vox and I was like freaking out. I was like, dude, holy crap. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. He's like, should we change the drawings? Should we change the sketches to, but anyways, so this whole concept just, it's not leaving me, and it's been staying for a long time, guys. And I feel like it's the thing that anyway. So what I wanted to do real quick is I wanted to go down and kind of teach you guys the same thing that I taught at Funnel Hacking Live, and it took me a solid. See, I had this major realization at like, I don't know, it was like 3 p.m. So like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I started yelling, like no one was in the house at all. And I just started yelling. I was like, oh my gosh, what? This is so cool. Are you serious? What? Oh, and I was like yelling, like legitimate, just yelling and screaming. I was like, this is crazy. And yeah, I'm that guy, but whatever. I'm proud to be that guy. And I was like, sweet. And I had to get my slides to them by the next morning. And so I didn't go to sleep. And I from that moment on, right, at dinner, said goodnight to the kiddos. And then from that moment on, I stayed up till 4:45 in the morning, distilling down to 10 slides. Everything that it was so hard, guys. It was crazy. Anyway, so I worked a lot on this, not just over there at night, but this has been a problem that's been on my head for years. And I've had the privilege of teaching a lot of times, but the quest to make things more simple is extremely important. And making things complex does not make you smarter. In fact, it usually means you don't bring as many people along with you because they think that you got to be like techno-babbly, you know, loaded up. You know what I mean? It's better to just keep things simple. And so what I want to do real quick is I want to teach this in the way that I experienced it. And I want it to be how should I say this? I want it to be, gosh, guys, I would take notes, okay? Because when you realize the core of this, and you realize really there's three forces that we're fighting with, that I was fighting with to try and figure out what this is. When you realize what these are, where they come from, I feel like it'll make people's funnels better because you'll be more intentional on both funnel hacking and creating your offers, your funnels in general. And anyway, so the next few episodes here, I kind of want to dive into this to teach you what I am looking at when I look at someone's funnel, okay? It's not so much about pages. Anyway, so let's get into it here, okay? So Russell had me start with the Plato Plomo story. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Funnel Hacking Live next year. Anyway, hey, so I started with this question though, right? How do I make money online? And it really happened when my wife and I found out that we were going to have a kid, our first child. We were super excited, right? This is over 4 years ago now, which is crazy. And I was reading .com Secrets. I read it for the first time. You guys all know this. I was laying, I was in the prone. I was in an army exercise. I was in the prone, laying down with my M16 for about 10 days in the dirt. And with my weapon in my right hand and .com Secrets in my left hand. And that's how I read the book the first time, right? And I read the book and I was like, this is crazy. And what I realized was that it was saying, funnel hack somebody, right? Model someone to the T and just do what they did. And there's safety in that. And it makes sense to do that. Well, then as soon as I get hired at ClickFunnels, we start, we're putting together expert secrets. It's being drafted, putting together. But the message of that one is create something new. You're like, wait a second, what? So the first says model somebody to the T, don't deviate. The second one says make something completely new, do not do something like what someone else did. And then I'm reading another book, right? The book Innovator's Dilemma, which says that if a market does not exist, it cannot be analyzed, right? It cannot be analyzed. It's unknowable, right? Because it doesn't exist. If you're trying to create a new niche, you're trying to create a new market, you're going to have a hard time doing that out of your own precepts, out of your own head, because you don't know. You know what I mean? And so you have, by the law of the way this happens, you must create the new niche with the customer. It cannot be from your own head, right? So you take those three concepts and think about them, okay? Number one, you gotta funnel hack somebody. Model someone to the T. Number two, create something brand new. Don't model anybody. Number three, it must be created with the customer or it'll be an improvement-based offer by default. It's like, what? How does this all three go together, right? And this question has been on my head for a long time, okay? And anyway, so to answer this though, we've got to understand more of the core of the funnel like I was talking about. Because the answer is actually to do all three of those in tandem, okay? To a point. First of all, we're going to funnel hack. Second, from the place, this is like Dorothy and the Yellow Brick Road, guys. We're going to follow the Yellow Brick Road as far as the Yellow Brick Road goes. And then when it ends, I'm going to teach you how to make a new brick, lay it down there, but do it with people so that it gets laid perfectly with your actual customer. Does that make sense? That's the answer. That's the answer. That's how you do it. Okay. So understand more of how to do this. Let's understand the core funnel building. Okay. First of all, there is an offer and a belief. That's it. That's the core of a funnel. That's why it can be offline, online. Whether or not you made one on purpose, you have one if you made a sale, okay? You made a funnel, okay? So there is an offer and a belief, okay? And the belief carries the offer, okay? This is like those little red wagons, okay? That's like story. That's like belief. Whatever's in the wagon's like the offer, okay? The story carries the offer. That's how it works. Without the belief, without the story part, the offer does not get delivered. Okay, because they're gonna look at it and go, I don't understand that. But if you understand the story, if you get that story, it's what changes beliefs. It's what changes paradigms. And people are like, oh my gosh, I need that offer. And you're like, yes, you do. Comes with it. Okay, so the story delivers the offer. Is this making sense so far? I hope it is. Okay, I know I'm going kind of deep in this, and it's a little more techno-babbly, and I have graphics and pictures and drawings to display this, but I need you to understand how this works, okay? Okay, since that is the core of a funnel, okay, you've got to understand that your dream customer, the person that you would love to be buying from you, they're already consuming both, okay? They're already consuming both, okay? And here's why. I don't want you to think of health, wealth, and relationships as three markets. Okay, the health, wealth, and relationships, right? Those are like the 3 money-making markets. Those are like the 3 no-duh buying experiences, okay? If right, those are the 3 markets that we try and fit every single thing into: health, wealth, relationships. If you got health, wealth, relationships, one of those 3, while your offer might not fit into it, okay? You're like, Steven, I'm selling Rubik's Cubes. Like, how does that work for health, wealth, relationships? Okay, the actual product does not need to fit in it, but the sales message at least must. Okay, right? I usually use the example of Gillette. Okay, Gillette razors, right? What market are they in? Health, wealth, relationships. They're in relationships. Why? Right? Because some guy is shaving in, right? You think of the commercials. Some guy is shaving in the mirror, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the freaking man." And a woman comes up afterwards and just like feels his face up. You know what I mean? Yeah, you guys have seen the commercials, right? And that's what's happening, right? They're selling relationships through the commodity of razors. Okay, dudes, you want the woman? You use this razor, right? That's what they're doing. So you got to understand that your dream customer is already consuming both an offer and a belief with hopes that it delivers to them either health, wealth, or relationships. That's another way to think of this. Okay? Because they're already consuming an offer and a belief, your opinions don't matter. Okay? They don't matter. You're not the one who fills your own wallet. Right? You don't fill your own wallet. Stop caring so much about what you think. And step number 1 is all about funnel hacking, which is really answering these 2 questions. Okay, these are the questions. Okay. The 2 questions is, number 1, what is my customer's current vehicle or offer that they're consuming? And number 2, what's the current belief of how they're buying it? Right? If you figure, right, it's the what and the how. What is it? And you guys have heard that before. I'm just trying to tie all these pieces together so it becomes clear. Okay. You got to understand that's the core of funnel hacking. Funnel hacking is not so much, hey, there's a green button on the right. There's a picture of someone on the left. Yes, that's like the micro level though. At the macro level, what you're really looking at is you're trying to answer the question, what is the current offer and current story that my dream customer is consuming? Okay, that's my starting place. That's funnel hacking. Okay, that's the core of funnel hacking. Okay. So what you're going to do is, like I said, you're going to fit your business into one of the 3 markets, right? Health, wealth, or relationships. And when you funnel hack, you're looking for those 2 things, right? The offer and the belief. That from the red ocean, right? Okay. Now that you know what the offer and the belief are, the second step is start applying more of the Expert Secrets model. Expert Secrets model is taking you into a place where you're selling a new opportunity, right? A new niche, a new market that you're creating. Okay, and by the law of creating something new that does not exist, you cannot analyze it. Therefore, you must make it with the customer. Okay, and there's various ways to do that. You're right. Get clever. That's how I launched my product back in January. Anyway, so please understand, the offer equals the result. The offer delivers the result. Okay, when you create an offer, not a product, right? It means you no longer have to compete on price. Okay, rather than selling back to this red ocean where everyone's competing on price and someone's like, no, I'm going to bleed for the customer more. No, I'm going to bleed for the customer. No, I'll take less margin. No, I'll take less margin, right? And it's this race to the bottom. If you don't do that crap, the way to get around it is by selling an offer. Okay, because it over delivers on value, which lets you sell it at the actual price you'd like to. So to structure an offer, this is super hard to do over podcast. I hope this is making sense, guys. Okay, I hope this is good stuff. Okay, please understand that every single one of these concepts I'm talking about are all things that I realized over the last 2 years, especially, as my head's just not really ever left the topic. Okay. But when you're going to structure an offer, you actually don't structure the offer based off of the offer in the red ocean. You structure the offer based off of the belief in the red ocean. Does that make sense? Let me say that again. Okay. You don't, for a new opportunity, to create a new opportunity, to create a new vehicle, right? That will deliver health, wealth, or relationships. One of those 3. Okay. You actually don't create it off of what the current vehicle and offer is. You actually create it off of what the current belief is. And from that, we gain the vehicle, internal, and external related beliefs. This is complete technobabble, and I am way in the weeds here. Please stick with me, though, okay? 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 We're going to find vehicle-based beliefs that people have inside the red ocean. internal and external. Okay, the internal beliefs, I like to think of them as insecurities, right? These are beliefs people have about themselves and their capacity to actually achieve something. Oh, I can't speak. I'm not good enough. I couldn't get on stage. I can't talk. I wouldn't know how to do this. I, right? And it's their internal struggles that they have when they see this new vehicle that you're going to present. Here's how you get health, wealth, or relationships. And they look at it and they're like, that's so cool. And you know what? I actually believe you a little bit, but I'm not good enough. Okay. And that's where the internal belief comes from. Okay. Or internal false belief. The external false belief is usually more about excuses. Okay. Then they blame their ability to be successful with that vehicle based on things that are away from them, right? They're pointing away from their own body, right? I don't have enough money, right? There's not enough time. My spouse doesn't want to support me in this, right? Does that make sense? And they're pointing away. So as soon as you get them to acknowledge the fact that that vehicle is the way to get them health, wealth, relationships, right? That old vehicle's not good anymore. You come over to this brand new one. As soon as you get them to accept that vehicle, the next two places they go are, and usually in this order, right, is usually internal for insecurities and external for the type of excuses that they're running through. Okay, they're excuses for away from them, time, money, resources, spouse, okay. And that's how it's working. From those very three beliefs, vehicle, internal, external, that is everything that I need to create a new opportunity, both offer and story. This is literally how I did it, guys, when I launched back in January, right? I left ClickFunnels December 31st. No offer. Okay. I didn't have an offer. I didn't have a sales message. I didn't have a funnel. I didn't have a product. I had nothing. The funnel wasn't even built. Okay. That's it. I had nothing. All I knew is what the current vehicle, internal, and external beliefs were. That was all. And from that, I was able to go and develop the product, the message, the offer, the funnel, the script, all of it. Okay. This part is so powerful, and I feel like people just will skimp over it. Like, yeah, I know what the false beliefs are. It's like, no. Like, if you really know what those false beliefs are, you also know what stories the people are telling themselves in their heads that are sustaining those false beliefs. You know the experiences they went through that created the story. You know what they're telling. Like, that is the place in my mind where you intimately learn and understand your customer. Okay. And when you do so, it is everything you need to actually be successful in your funnel, right? Because it creates the core of the funnel, a sales message and an offer, right? Those two things. Okay. Anyway, so what we do is we take those vehicle, internal, and external beliefs, and we make a product for each one of them, a product, and we bundle them together with the main thing you originally wanted to sell, and that is the offer. Does that make sense? Man, this is like so much easier to see, like, because drawing stuff. I wish I've got it all drawn out here. I wish you guys could see it. Anyway, so the offer in the simplest form that I can explain it, right, is you take the main thing that you actually want them to be buying, and you bundle in a few other products that are directly addressing the vehicle, internal, and external beliefs, right? For example, Russell, I would get ClickFunnels, but I don't know what to write, right? And Russell comes out and he's like, don't even worry about it. We got this thing called funnel scripts. You don't need to write. Does that make sense? It's a bonus that he's giving away when you buy the main thing, funnel hacks. Does that make sense? So you're trying to sell the main thing, then you give away several of the products underneath that are, anyway, so this is super, super techno-babbly. I feel like, anyway, a new niche is created, guys, when you deliver a new vehicle, right? A new offer, right? The offer is the vehicle, okay? When you deliver a new offer. And second, when you deliver a new story, a new belief that supports the vehicle, okay? Does that make sense? A new niche, a new market is created when you deliver a new offer and belief. Since that's the core of funnels, you're just creating a new funnel, selling it back to the red ocean that you stemmed out of. There was a guy who walked up to me once at an event, and he walks up to me and he goes, I don't remember who it was. He walks up to them and he goes, hey, Steven, I got this sweet idea. And he told me the idea. And he's like, first I'm going to do this. And second I'm going to do this. And then third this is my stack. This is my offer. These are all the products I'm going to deliver. These are the bonuses. And at the end of it, he's like, do you think that's a good idea? And I said, well, who's going to be seeing it? Like, what's the sub-market that you're stemming out of? What's the red ocean that you're actually stemming out of? And he goes, I don't know. And I said, then that's the riskiest crap I've ever heard of in my life. You have to know what submarket you're stemming out of. Otherwise, you are creating things out of your own head, right? Your own imagination. Scary. Okay? Be creative, guys. Just be creative second, not first. Okay? Anyway, there's no relationship between being good and getting paid. However, there's a huge relationship between being good at marketing and getting paid. Okay, what I'm trying to teach you guys and show you guys is that this whole thing, the core of funnel building, right, is a belief, right? That's marketing. Okay, it's a story. You're telling a story. You're changing beliefs. Yeah, it's the sales message itself. Okay, and then above it, right, it's carrying the offer. Okay, and that's all it is. That's all it is. And it was 25 minutes for me to spit all that out, but I'm trying to tell the stories associated with all the graphs so that it helps break and rebuild your beliefs. Okay, but I hope that makes sense. I hope that that's helpful as I say and teach that, because I want you guys to understand why this matters so much. Okay, if you're going out and you're like, hey, Steven, I went out and I created a sweet funnel, it's not converting, right? And you took no thought at all of the actual sales message and offer and stuff like that, it's gonna be a rough ride. It's the reason why, like, guys, a lot of times I'll just make up a design that I think looks kind of cool, but I don't spend that much time on it. But my stuff converts well. Why? Because I got a sick offer, okay, that fulfills the sales message, fulfills the actual belief that I'm breaking and rebuilding for them. Okay, that's why. That's why design does not matter as much as we all wish it did. Okay, that's why, and I want you to understand that. And anyway, so I'm kind of blabbering now, but I hope that makes sense, guys. Just remember that at the core of funnel building, at the core of a funnel in general, is a belief which is carrying an offer. That's all you got to remember from this episode. And as you start to think through that, right, those are the things you're funnel hacking. Those are the things you're creating in the new niche. Those are the things that will deliver a customer to you. And anyway, so I'm super excited by that. I am seriously considering, in fact, Russell was suggesting I should too, make a book about offer creation. This is a topic that I obsess over, and I love the science and art piece of offer creation. So anyways, guys, hopefully that's helpful. I know there's a lot of stuff, and it's a bit of a long episode there, but anyway, I think you guys are used to it by now. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Got a question you want answered live on the show? Head over to salesfunnelradio.com and ask your question now.